It is called as the Italian opening because this was a very popular opening about 500 years back or 400 years back. And Italian players that time were the dominant players. The best players of the modern chess that in 1600s used to be Italian players, and they used to play this opening. Okay, that is why it is called as Italian opening. Okay, and how it starts? It starts with e4, e5, nf3, nc6, and bc4. Okay, so let us get a board and check. Yeah, e4, e5, nf3, nc6, and bishop c4. We had seen that earlier in the thing that bishop c4 is a very good way to develop your bishop because it is attacking this diagonal, right? Which is a very, that f7 square is weak. So that is what directly, it is like a direct attack against the, that is the idea of white. And in Italian opening, what black says is black also develops his bishop here to bishop c5. He says that, okay, I am also going to hit at your f2 pawn. Okay, so this is the starting position of the Italian opening. Okay, now many of you might be playing a game where after this you play d3 and then d6, and it becomes a very slow game, almost symmetrical, and nothing much comes out of it in the immediate things. It takes time to get, and it gets boring. Okay, so this is called as the Giuco pianissimo, as the quiet game, meaning in Italian. Okay, but the Giuco piano, which means the Italian game, and that game, what is the standard thing? What white does is instead of d3 defending, can you see right now how it is? Both of them have a stake in the center. White's knight is attacking the e5 pawn. Black's knight is defending it. White's e4 pawn is not yet attacked. Okay, so this is the position. So here white takes benefit, momentarily takes the benefit, and plays c3. What is the idea of c3? Normally you will never play c3 move because it is that square is reserved for your knight, right? That is knight's very good square. But in this particular position, why does white play this? You will notice that black has a pawn on e5 and a bishop on c5. So if white next plays d4, there has to be an exchange. Okay, because bishop obviously will not stand because bishop is attacked, and then either, so black will be forced to take. If he does not take the pawn and if he moves the bishop, then white will also be able to take this pawn for free, right? That is the forcing line, and hence white plays c3. But what should black do? If you follow the opening principles, black should also develop and counter attack as much as possible and develop to the natural square. So black sees this opportunity and plays knight f6, hitting the e4 pawn, and it knows that white cannot bring the knight to c3 to defend it, right? So now this is a starting point. And then so what happened is that in the 16th century there was this player called Greco, Greco, Greco. I have shared you some of the YouTube links on videos, right? He was a very attacking player, very nice player. He was the probably the best player in the world at that point of time.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, this Greco, our now Lichess tournament's name was also Greco.
So what happens is Lichess arenas, if you don't provide a name to the arena, then it will pick up one of the grandmasters. It could be any time in the historical or new or whatever it is. It will provide a name automatically. So every time, that's why you see different arena name. Today it was Greco. Yes, it is named after that Greco player from Italy. Okay, excellent. Okay, so what white does is he does not defend the pawn on e4 and he plays d4, attacks the bishop. Okay, so you see, this is a very key aspect of chess where if you simply uh, yeah, I mean, not you cannot be named Magnus Anup, but yeah, Magnus Carlsen, but you can name an arena if you want. Tomorrow we can create an arena with name as Magnus if you want, or Anand if you want. That's okay. All right. So what happens is before you defend, you counter attack. Okay. Before you try to defend, not tomorrow. I mean, next Friday. Okay. All right. So now what does black do? Black does not want to retreat the bishop. The best way for black to play is e takes d, and now white takes c takes d. Now, can you see white has a beautiful center? What we said is what we said is that e4 and d4, if you are able to establish, then it's like you are winning the center, right? So this was the idea of white in Italian opening. Only thing is that it is not that black is losing this game. Black is also got three pieces developed. Plus, so what does black do is black plays knight bishop to b4 check. Okay, if black simply plays passively and goes back, then white has got a almost winning game, because what white will start doing is he will push the e5 pawn. Knight will go to, let us say, h6 or whatever, or knight will go to g4, and then he will play h3, and then knight will get kicked off, and then he will play this pawn up, and then this will go up here, and then this pawn up. So like this, basically white crushes black. Okay, if black plays passively, but the right way to play for black is not to play passively, but give a check. Now, whatever does, either there will be an exchange or there will be a pinning. So, in the proper Italian game, what white plays is knight c3. Okay, and it's a pawn sacrifice. Okay. Now, what does pawn sacrifice means? Means white knows that he's going to lose a pawn, but he allows that pawn to be taken in return for something. What is that? Something is attack. Okay. Can you tell me how black is going to win a pawn now?
Knight to
Knight to e4.
Correct. And this is the best way. Okay, this is the best reply for black. Okay. Uh, Taking the sacrifice pawn, and then black says, I will be able to defend it. That is his idea. Okay. What black says is that now crucially, this knight is attacked. The c3 knight is attacked twice, right? Because bishop is also attacking and the knight is also attacking. So at this point of time, white may want to defend it, but then what white says is that white is betting on development, early development, and castles. See, castles. Now you see what has happened is that his rook is ready to come to e1 file. Okay. And attack, and black is yet to castle. So black is like one move behind. And this now there is no pin on the knight. The knight c3 is no longer pinned, right? So this is how the thing is. Now, if you simply black castles, then it's a blunder, because this knight will be gone now for free. Okay, may not be for free. Black will play d5 and attack both the bishop and the knight, and then one of them will be gone. So probably white will take the pawn, and then queen will take it, and then this knight may come here, let us say, right? So something like this may happen, but a lot of things may happen, but this is okay. But instead, now what black does is, after castle, now there are many things. So one is, so let us see what have I given in the handout. Yeah, so we looked at the molar attack. We are looking at the molar attack, and bishop to b4. Yeah, this position just now we saw, right? Diagram 1. Knight c3, knight takes e4. This is what we have seen. The other one we said is the d5. Okay, instead of knight to e4, other move for black, if he does not want to play, is also possible to play d5. Okay, you know why it is possible to play? Because if this knight takes it, bishop will take this first and take this, and he can again take it back. This way also black can play, or it can also, he can also play after this. He can simply take this also and put pressure on the c3 knight also. If the knight on c3 is pinned, that is the idea behind this, right? But white may not want to exchange, but white bishop is also attacked, right? So there are ways of playing like this. There are many good moves. See, d5 is also a good move here. So both sides have a good move. But let us continue with the molar attack. Okay, I have given the variation here, what happens after d5, right? So this also can happen. You can go after this. But main thing is that white castles after knight takes e4. Okay. So white castles. Then yeah. So what happens is, if let us go back to the position. So knight takes e4. White has castled. Okay. Now you might think that black can win one more pawn. Can you see how? There is a way for black to win one more pawn. Can't see it? Okay, I'll show you. Knight
To
takes C3.
F2.
Not to F2. Knight takes C3. Okay. Knight takes C3. Now, what we'll have to do? White's knight has, white will have to capture this, right? And then black says, I will capture once more, right? Now, black has won 2 pawns, plus he's attacking the rook, okay? Right? So, what? Who is better? Is white lost here? No, the answer is no.
No.
Okay, because see, black is up 2 pawns, but he has not yet castled, while white has castled. So if white is able to attack properly, then black can get into a lot of trouble. Okay, so what happens is there was lot of things. So there used to be earlier, Greco found a move called queen to b3. Here he says that, okay, take my rook. I'm not bothered. I am more bothered in attacking your king. Okay, so this is the thing which Greco discovered when in 1600s,
Sir,
maybe 1610 or something, 1620. This is 400 years before us. Okay, yes, tell your question.
is this the Greco gambit?
Yeah, no, Greco gambit I think is slightly different. This is, or maybe I will have to check now whether they call this itself Greco gambit, but probably not. Okay, but let us see what Greco found. Okay, and earlier what people or anybody, if you are not convinced, then what you'll say, oh, let me take the rook. Now I am now several points up. Okay, and maybe I will try to defend it. But Greco found a very beautiful way of attacking and finishing black off. So if you want to see, that is what we are going to see today. Okay, what happens after this is, yeah, here bc3 after 10. Yeah, rook e1, black can resign. Okay, right, now check. Now what will do black do?
Bishop to F7.
Hmm? Knight to e7, king to f8, or what? Knight to e7.
Sir, white to play.
No, white has played rook to e1 check, right? White to play, what will you want to play as black?
Black will play knight to E7.
Knight to e7, excellent. Okay, now first of all, white gives bishop to f7 check. There is only one more, the thing to think, king to
King
f8,
F8.
bishop to g5. Now,
It is checkmate.
no, it is not checkmate. See, the king is not in,
Queen trap.
but the queen is
Queen
going
trap.
to go away. Queen is not only the knight, but even the black queen is going to lose probably. Because next move, I am going to play bishop captures e7, forking the king and the queen. And is there any way you can defend it? There is absolutely no way. Just
No.
see. Just see. See if you can find any move.
There is no moves to save the queen.
Absolutely, because even if you try to make way for the queen to come out,
Then it
that is
will be
not
changed.
enough. Because here next move only I am taking this and now checking. Now your queen will have to take it. Then I will be happy to take the queen, and then your king takes it. It's okay. After that, whatever is there, bishop. White has got a queen against a black rook and one black bishop, but the king is so much in the open that white will be able to finish him off, and the two rooks of black are like too much away. They are not in the game yet, right? So this game, it is white is going to win this game pretty easily. Okay, so what happens is, so this happens. So that is why actually, normally on queen to b3, earlier people did used to take it, but they used to always lose the game. So instead of that, then what they started doing is after queen to b3, let us see here. Uh, yeah, they started playing d5 itself. Okay, here. So yeah, bishop. What? I think. See, the other way to play after for black is not to accept it, but to play d5 here. Okay, so not take the rook. But then what happens is white can take this bishop, he can take it, and then white takes a pawn back, and black can then castle. Still white has got some better attacking chances, because this bishop can come up here and make harassment, and white's rook are freer. But so there is a way of playing this. Okay, so this way you can also play. So this way also you can play, but the key move that what white found was queen to b3. Let me see if I have an interesting game from the this arena. L2. Let me see. Lockdown. Let me see if I have got the. No, this is different. This is your tournament games.
So,
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me see if I have got the game here. Greco NN. Do you have it here? No, no, no. These are Greco's games. No, I don't have the game here. Probably, I would have loved to show you that game where he did a beautiful attack and using this thing. It is like a. I think I have it in a recorded video, so you will have it. You will see it. Okay, so what happens is that with this, basically there are other ways of defending for black, not always taking it. So after b3, for example, instead of taking the bishop takes a1, you can play d5, as I said. Or even one move before, instead of knight takes c3, then what black sometimes does is bishop takes c3. Okay, so this is what black plays. And then if you play this, then yeah, I mean, so then what can then black again can play d5 here, right, and secure the knight on e4, which is a very good square for the thing, and he's hitting this bishop, and he can play like this. So this way also black can play. So there are, I mean, what happens is that black has to be careful. If he grabs material without his king is not yet castled, then he can get into trouble. So there are multiple ways of doing this. Yeah, so this is a way of playing. And now what specifically I wanted to show is the queen e7 variation, d3 variation. Okay, queen e7 is not that great here itself. Okay, bishop c3, d5, then knight e5. Yep, yeah, this is what I wanted to show you the next. So what happens is bishop c3, bc3, and d5. Yeah. No, 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 not here. Yeah, bishop c3 here. White plays d5 here. White does not want the black pawn to come up to d5, so he plays before capturing the bishop, he attacks the knight. Okay, so this is the way of the what do you call molar attack, and then this knight comes to knight to e5. Okay, knight to e5. Then white captures this piece here. Okay, then knight takes c4. Knight takes c4. Now white is one piece down, but he is going to win one piece by playing queen to d4, which is a very good move. Now you might think that, oh, queen to d4 is, now you think that, oh, I will save both my knights by doing this. right? These knights are defending each other, but the queen has got queen takes g7. Okay, so this is a winning move for white if white tries to do this. And if black tries to say that, oh no, I'm going to defend it, queen to I mean, my queen comes to f6, I'm going to defend the rook. So white has got a very winning attack here. These are all the things that you should know of. So what white does is takes the queen. Black will have to take it with the knight, right? Now rook to e1 check. Okay, now where will the king go?
D8.
King to d8, then what happens is if king goes to d8, then bishop to g5. It is winning. You see the threat on the next move? You see the threat on the next move?
Fork.
It's a fork. And what if black defends like this? If black defends like this, then still it is game over. You want to see how?
Sir,
Knight to E5.
Not, yeah, no. Knight to e5, bishop will come,
sir,
rook will come here.
rook to e8.
Yeah, rook to e8 is a nice try. Now, rook will have to come here. Now you do this, right? Now what? Rook will have to come up. Then you place the other.
I rook to e1.
Yeah, exactly. Now this rook is going to fall for free, and after that there is probably going to be a checkmate. You may not be a checkmate, but even then this rook is going to fall. So then black is left with one rook and one bishop. White has got one rook, one bishop.
I know what black is going to do. The rook is going to come to e1.
No, it cannot. Rook is pinned. Black rook is pinned against the king, so it cannot move. Okay, so now whatever you try to do, you try to do something.
Black needs to resign.
Okay, he can try to play, but he is going to, if both play
Pawn
accurately, white
to
should win.
how
Right?
about excuse me, pawn near to the rook on this side.
Yeah, whichever way,
Knight pawn to
even if you play,
knight pawn to
yeah, okay,
d5.
yeah, even then, this is going to, in fact, after if you play that, then what
Excuse me, sir.
it will play is this, okay?
Whatever black does, white will win.
Yeah. So white is, I mean,
Excuse
if
me,
he
sir.
white still has to play accurately after this, but white is ahead definitely, several points ahead, right? So that is what happens if. So what we were starting to see is that, yeah, queen to d4 is a very strong move, and you can't defend. You have taken an extra piece, but if you try to defend, you actually lose. Okay. So so after queen to d4 here, uh, yep. Okay, you may want to see one more this one. So actually what black does is black tries to maintain this central knight here and gives up this knight. Gives up means it is anyway, it has taken an extra bishop, so it is just equal, relatively equal position, but it tries to maintain. This is what happens in this opening. But okay, quickly you wanted to see one more variation after queen to d4, knight c to d6, queen to g7, queen to f6, white took it, black took it back, white gave the check. If black king goes to f8, do you know what happens?
Bishop h6.
Bishop h6, brilliant. Now king to g8, right? It cannot come here. Now,
Black.
now can you see to one very good move for white, which is really going to win? It's not a direct threat. It is a move which will create a threat which will become impossible for black to defend.
Knight to d4.
No, not knight.
Sir, rook e1 to e8.
No, rook to e8, then one of the two knights will capture it. Both the knights are defending the e8 square.
Rook e5.
Rook to e5. Do you see why?
Yeah, it threatens the mate on g5.
Correct. Yeah, Eden, the class is going to end in another 5 minutes or so. So, yep. So, what is the thing is, so now rook to g5 is next going to come next. Is there any way to defend it? There is absolutely no way to defend it.
Knight to e4.
Knight to e4, then, okay. Which knight to e4? Which knight to e4? Okay.
Sir,
So, so
that
knight to g5.
Don't pull that wire.
Now,
knight to g4.
knight to not okay. Which knight? Sorry. Knight to g4. The other knight. You are saying? Are you saying this other knight to g4?
Yes, yes.
Then the
Dude,
rook to
started there. Was Andy?
then the rook to
Was
c8 checkmate.
started there. The kapoda banana.
Okay, I'm going to mute. I'm hearing some noise. I'm going to mute all.
I channel.
Okay, you type your moves only. So knight to g4 is not helping you. It is going to become so white is threatening to take this knight, and after that he is going to give a checkmate on e8. Okay. So several threats. Even if you attack this rook, it doesn't help because knight will take this. Now, if you take the rook, then the knight comes to f6 and it's a checkmate. Knight to f. This is also a checkmate. And if you take this knight here, then this is a checkmate. Right? So, so actually, if you go back to this position, that's why I said, if king goes to f8, then the game is over. If king goes to d8, then also white gets tremendous advantage. But king goes to f8, then it's a forced mate, checkmate, within a few moves, starting with bishop h6. King goes to g8 and then rook e5. You have to remember, rook e5 is a very good move, very great threat. Okay. All right. So what we were saying is, so we have considered, we have covered it one part of the Italian game today. We will cover some more of it in the next class also. But yeah, Kunal, you have raised the hand. Is there any question? Looks like by mistake you have raised the hand. It's okay. So the thing is, you try to see some games in Italian game. You will find some. If you go on the leeches under videos, you will find some Italian game videos also. Try to watch it. There are some very nice games with this. I wanted to search one game and show it to you. Next week I will show it to you how the Greco with Queen B3 is winning that. Okay. So that's a beautiful win. I will show it. So, and then there is one more thing. So we are going to spend about 3 weeks on this one Italian opening. Okay. So first week we have done, 2 more weeks also we'll continue on Italian opening. It's a very rich opening, lot of interesting games to play and share. Okay. So study it, study the handout I have given. I think I have shared this handout, right? Italian game handout. I think I have already shared, right? So go through this. Okay. Any other questions? No? No questions. I'm going to unmute now. I think we are. Yeah, I think unmute is all. I don't have. I mean, you can unmute. Okay, I will give the permission to unmute yourself. Yeah, in case you have any questions, please unmute yourself. Ask the question. Who made chess? Chess was, there is a separate lecture probably I will take on the history of chess, but it was invented in India. It is said that a wise Pandit named Vishnu Sharma or Vishnu Gupta in somewhere in the 5th or 6th century he invented it, this particular. And then from India it went to Arabs picked it up. We are going to have one class where we are going to see some very problems from the 9th and 10th century when Arabs were like expounding the chess. So they spread it. They used to play a lot. There are some manuscripts and books are were written by Arabs. Those are available. And then from Arabs, the Europeans picked it. Within Europeans, I think the Italians were the ones who were trading with Arabs. So if you remember the pyramid of not pyramid, the leaning tower of Pisa, etc. Right, that was in the 12th century. So Venice, merchants of Venice, etc. So they picked it up, and then that's how Italians originally became the chess masters, and then French people became, then German became, and then English became. So that way, all the Europeans picked up, and they changed the rules also. So it's an interesting history. Sometime I can take an entire 1 hour session on the history of chess. By the way, I'm going to announce one thing. We are going to celebrate Christmas by having an open tournament, just like we had during the Sera, right, in October, and before that in Independence Day. So we are going to have an open fun chess event I'm thinking 26th of December. Okay, because that
This
is on
morning,
Saturday 26th of December. I am planning it. So again, your target is to get as many people. It's a free open chess event. Get as many. I will tell the time. I will tell the time.
the morning or night.
I will probably have it in the morning this time because everybody will be having holidays. So maybe in the morning, but I may have it at night.
Uh,
So I will see. Okay, I will tell, but get ready and try to get your parents, try to get your uh,